time to enlighten us on how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright. It's time. I still think it's the box. Wait, what if it's the statue? But like he had it on a string and he pulled it back up.
Easy. You can just save.
Save on a different one.
This.
Sure.
I'm going to present some evidence.
So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Berry?
Stop calling me Dingaling.
Sorry.
Okay, so what do I present?
I say either the statue or the box. Oh wait, you don't actually have the bust?
We do know that it was taken from the cafeteria.
Yeah, I say do it. That has to be it. He has to have it on a string. What's that? A picture?
It is indeed. The problem is with the time that the pictures showed in the picture.
What?
Use your words.
The bust?
It's quite a large bust. Because it is life-sized, it is also very, very heavy.
Heavy?
Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. See? This is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galacticus' ample bust.
Order! Order! So you're saying the bust fell onto the Ringmaster?
A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit.
How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something that's so heavy? It's impossible!
Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like that bust.
Well, Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well,
Acro's at a loss for words!
He's sticking shoes in a box.
Wait, I can move the box out the way easier. I didn't expect her to talk because Acro was about to talk.
he was really at a loss for words.
He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, 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 Acro. Ow!
I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
testimony, you say?
Von Karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such a testimony.
The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way for once in a while?
Mr. Dingaling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you would like to, please. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. Do we get to request expert testimony from the general guy at the doctor office hospital?
The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him.
Thank you.
That woman will sink to any low to win a case.
I mean, we're the one accusing a crippled guy in a wheelchair.
Disabled.
Whatever.
Bonkers. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think?
I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony. Ah!
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could have not known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination.
He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really.
Grr. I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. So what have you been doing to keep in shape?
Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope.
You don't say.
But, no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything.
Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either. Slowpoke. I mean, Nick.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! How did the discussion turn on me all of a sudden?
I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear.
And why is that?
Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs.
So you couldn't have thrown the bust out the window? Hasn't?
that already been established like 3 times now? The judge is just now catching on?
How long do you think your recovery will take?
Why?
You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation. But it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%.
Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window.
Why do you say it would be impossible?
Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there's no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head.
Well, I suppose you've got a point.
Hey, Nick?
Huh?
What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust.
That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow that Acura knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down.
The monkey told him.
I think I've already explained things sufficiently.
If all you had to do was drop it, then then it wouldn't have been a problem at all.
If all I had to do was drop it. You're right, I could have done that. However, there's no way that I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head.
So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright?
Acura is strong enough to lift up the bust.
The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head.
I wonder if he used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster's head.
That's the ticket, Nick. Show him what you got.
I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly with the case.
I don't remember us finding tools. But maybe we overlooked something. Guess that kind of could be it, sort of.
I don't know, but like,
That doesn't
how
tell
precise do they need it to
Yeah,
be?
that doesn't tell him exactly where it is.
Yeah.
What about the pepper? Like maybe he's carrying around the pepper, and because he heard it. I don't know. I would go with the
Well,
paper
he has
before
heightened
that.
senses, maybe. You can smell the pepper all the way.
Well, he wasn't carrying the pepper. It says it was found in the wooden box.
Yeah, it was carrying the wooden box, which would be rolling around in it. But I would go with the paper before I'd go with that. Wait, what's the time of death?
10 p.m.
Yeah, see, that makes even less sense. 'Cause then but I guess maybe, I don't know, waited like 15 minutes to make sure he was there.
where would I present the evidence on? Even if it's the evidence. Oh, maybe here. No. Yeah, this is probably.
No music stopped.
Evidence clearly contradicts the statement, Your Honor.
How exactly?
They
Go to bed, Phoenix. You wrong.
I don't think that won me any points with the judge.
What was the next line?
Press on the first line, maybe. There. Have you ever lifted up the bus before?
No, I've actually never lifted it up with my own 2 hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this.
Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bus before.
Please continue, Mr. Dingling.
My name is Dingling.
It's got another idea. What if it is the monkey? The evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor!
You're just wrong for that, Phoenix.
No, it proves everything! It proves it!
Not at all. Don't talk about monkeys that way.
I don't think that won me any points with the judge.
What else? Let me see the evidence again. Let me see the picture. I don't know, I'd say present the pepper. Or the box.
Maybe the boss.
You would tell us if it's just the wrong dialogue prompt, right? We have the right prop. So I'm just thinking, what if it's the other, if it's the paper, but it's the other dialogue prompt?
If it was just something like that, I would probably be better.
Acro!
Wait, what did you present? The pepper or the box?
The box.
Oh.
You didn't really need to lean out the window, did you?
What are you talking about now, Mr. Wright? More monkeys.
You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be.
Got a whole group of monkeys lift him up.
quite precisely, may I ask?
Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show some evidence?
But I did such a good job hinting.
Yes! 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 Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright!
Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over?
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here?
Who?
When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that the box was already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bus came falling down was exactly the moment the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all the questions is now crystal clear.
You mean?
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
There would have been no way that it could miss the head of the victim.
Did I read whatever he just said correctly?
Yeah.
I don't even understand what he said. No!
Order! 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 This is unbelievable!
Finally! Some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves. I just gotta keep going. There's no way to go from here. Forward!
There's no way to go from here. So the next question I have is, who placed the wooden box at the scene?
For some reason, I always read my lines like they're translated or something. It was Mr. Dingling. Not me saying no. Of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow!
Allow me to whip some sense into you!
Ow!
Mr. Frostbite!
Ah!
The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's what I think.
That's why the box was so especially made!
Specially made?
Indeed! It had the most peculiar feature!
The size of the box? I don't think the pepper would have anything to do with why he had to pick it up that way.
You recall what was inside the wooden box?
It's only a small bottle of pepper, wasn't there?
Get on with it!
Well...
What's the matter? Cat's got your tongue?
I don't see any relationship between the location of his head and the box's contents.
I think I might have outthought myself.
No, Nick! You didn't think enough! Mr. Wright, do you still maintain the box had some sort of special feature?
Indeed! It had the most peculiar feature.
You can always check the box in the quick record.
Wait. The box has a remarkable weight.
Wait?
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have required.
Oh! I see! One would have to squat down and lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say?
That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large.
Box also has a carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be approximately in the same place.
Fool!
Does he even bother to listen to me anymore?
I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills.
Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing.
What?
Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust?
Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria.
And what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself.
That means...
You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room?
You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright explained that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Can't he just revise it and say maybe there was an accomplice? Like, just because he said
I
that.
take it back. There was one.
Well, I mean, he could just say there might have been an accomplice, but that doesn't, like, disregard all the other evidence that he did do it. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria.
Yeah, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me to prove how things happen once and for all.
All right, Mr. Wright. Let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his room?
Need the monkey.
That'd be one strong monkey. Chimpanzee monkey.
Yeah. Or maybe he has a bunch of monkey friends. They all chipped in to pull.
That's what I think. I think they all lifted him up to the window so he could drop the bust.
I just thought would be bring it back into an accomplice though.
A monkey's not a person.
Yeah, but it's still plot murder.
A monkey can't be held legally liable as an accomplice.
I don't know if it showed enough, like, knowledge of what it was doing. Couldn't you kind of? I guess you could put the monkey down.
Like they do tigers when they bite someone. Or dogs when they bite someone.
I actually don't have questions.
Go to the right.
What?
And then just maybe there's some over there.
Do we do it? The monkey said.
No.
And do what? I wish I could save, but I can't save.
What about people? Let me think.
Yeah, but we were
Huh?
Yeah, but we're supposed to find someone with no accomplice.
Oh yeah.
Unless you think I should say Mo anyway. Ben.
Wait, Regina brings some lunch. Maybe she accidentally put the statue.
Yeah, that's definitely how that happened.
She accidentally just threw that on the plate. There's no way it's the monkey. The monkey? Not the... How can you talk about the monkey again like that, Mr. Wright?
No, if I made a mistake, at least I'll have one shot left. Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size.
Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring.
So are you saying that the witness had a monkey steal the bust?
Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it of his own on his own, and then brought it back home.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Home on the Acro's room?
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, they're made of platinum, which is very shiny. Acro! Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room.
If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Order! Order! I said order! Miss Von Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event,
Nice breakfast, I hope.
something else would have been used as the murder weapon.
Wait! Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident?
It's possible. Maybe Acro saw money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer.
Moron!
Trump-style outburst. Wrong.
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular that I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Oh!
Don't seem so bamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney.
Fraud?
You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
And what's that?
You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime.
Ah!
There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you up now.
Oh, this is my chance to turn this trial around.
When the murder occurred, there were 2 people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
I don't want to get trapped where I get saved.
Who was the murderer the clown saw?
The monkey.
I saw what too. Please. Seth, do you think it's a good idea?
No.
What? Why would you do that? Why did you not even consult me at all? But ask me, do you think it's the monkey? And then I say no. So you're like, okay, it's Russell Berry. That's the only other option.
It's the victim!
I thought it was the only other option.
No!
He killed himself and then flew away.
What is this supposed to mean?
Yes, what is this supposed to mean?
Do you mind explaining that one to me as well?
Nick!
It's the first time their reactions actually fit.
You're getting barraged with questions, Nick. I kind of want to know too.
But I don't understand how else it would happen.
I don't know. What if he was there, but he was just there like by coincidence? I don't know. There's a million ways it could have been someone, but there's no ways it could have been Russell Berry.
Ow! Ow!
Because Russell Berry's dead on the ground. What do you mean how? The picture shows Russell Berry on the ground dead.
His pulley system pulled the coat off of Russell Berry's head. He pulled it all the way up his room.
He's like, whoops! Dropped it back down.
Why is that?
It's because you're wrong.
Oh.
Well, if the murder happened the way you're saying it did, he dropped a statue and then pulled it back up, what would Mo have seen?
Statue, I guess.
Anything but Russell Berry. Russell Berry died and his ghost took the form of Maximilian and floated away. I asked who was the other person that Mo saw on the scene.
She's still mad about the Russell Berry answer.
Don't tell me Russell Berry. This evidence has nothing to do with the question.
Au contraire, mon frere. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. but he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw.
It was a ghost.
How is it possible?
It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust.
What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak.
There's no reason why he couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust or the hands.
Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak in a bust?
It doesn't matter who put it on.
Just wait a minute, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree?
No, he caught me.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Let's have it now.
Let's save it yet. I only have one life left.
Who put the cloak on the bust?
Are you gonna get mad if I say Russell Berry?
Yes.
Would you?
Well,
Do I say accuracy? What do you think?
I don't know, just say Russellberry. I just want to see what everyone says.
Fool him?
You are saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry, again?
That's what I'm saying!
Why do you want to blame him so bad?
The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust?
Lace the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself! Nick! Do you really have a handle on anything?
I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together.
I don't know about that.
There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden pots onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of the bedroom window directly above the wooden pots. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and he went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. And now this is when the magic happens. At that very instant, the bust hit the victim. This is a bit long-winded. Or, far-fetched.
You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
I think it's way more likely the monkey stole the cloak. It's crying.
As much as you try, as much as you scheme, This just isn't true. It can't be.
It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet.
What?
He's trying to say that it just fell onto it.
Yeah. The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust.
I think it's more like a Russell Berry's ghost. Put the cloak on it.
That impact also caused a sound the witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown.
Lawrence.
When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went out pulling the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see it out of his window. So he just kept pulling up the bust. And that's how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro! It could only have been you!
Acro's been playing mind games with all of us.
He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now.
So?
What now?
You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
I don't want to read that again.
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter: the power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't forget the power of my gobble as well. Mr. Wright. The prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick! They say they want evidence! We don't have any of that!
I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there is still something unusual about Mo's eyesight witness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get us out of this jam!
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. What are we trying to prove again? That all of this is real?
Yeah,
How are you supposed to prove that?
they gave you a hint. Remember what was weird about Mo's testimony?
Everything was weird about Mo's testimony. The hat, I guess.
Oh.
The hat, maybe.
The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
Those symbols were a problem. numerous times during yesterday's proceedings.
Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony.
The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other.
But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions.
You fool! Do you ever shut up?
Matt's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday? He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene of the crime was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat Mo saw was actually the bust's.
Makes sense if you look at it that way. Then he did see the silk hat. Well, sorta.
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what the ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try to explain that one away. Can you do it?
Of course! I can explain all of it.
What was that?
Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses?
This is awful.
Do you get it? The cloak snagged onto the front of the bust. It means the white roses would end up on the back of the bust.
I like to imagine that Phoenix pulls up like paint or something and then draws the diagram of what he's talking about.
It looks so terrible and it doesn't make sense logically.
That makes sense.
How is it just, it magically falls perfectly on it to where it looks just like him going up?
From 10 feet away in a snowstorm.
What, clear enough that he could see whether white roses were there or not?
Yeah, it was definitely a monkey.
Yeah. Wait, that was the wrong person. I just screamed as Maya.
Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back of the bust.
Oh no! Oh no! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick! Maybe Mon Karma will finally throw in the towel! Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind?
What is it?
You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't?
If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track.
Why is that?
Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the Ringmaster and his life until now.
What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro respected deeply the Ringmaster.
Acro's motive.
It seems that this case isn't over yet. Okay, however, I feel this is a very good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingaling's testimony after recess.
Judge needs a nap.
This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
To be continued!